welcome back again to some Wargame Airland Battle action. It's going to be 1 versus 1 on the highway to Oslo map. We've got NATO consisting of Lalocre, whatever, and Pact consisting of myself, Lightman. And we'll just be fast forwarding past the deployment phase. So yeah, been a while since I played 1 versus 1 on this particular map. We'll see how I'll fare. I believe I'll be going with my special 1v1 USSR deck by the looks of things. Yep, looks like, yeah, 1 versus 1 USSR deck for me. And as my opponent, I believe he's going for the Americans or for NATO by the looks of things. So yeah, looks like Americans actually. So we'll see how things work out actually. So yeah, got my own helicopters coming in to drop off some infantry at Delta. Probably going to keep going for Echo, apparently not so. It looks like one of my early planes getting shot down as well, I believe. And bam. Fighting Falcon doing a great job shooting him down, I guess. Surprised they actually went with such an expensive multi-role to begin with, but apparently it's paid off. As my MIT is going to be running into the Chaparrals and probably getting destroyed. At least got a foothold in Bravo. Quick helicopter coming in case something comes in through here. Nothing going to come, thankfully. Going to be securing it with my own infantry anyway. We'll just see what's going to be happening at Delta. So we've got Marines being dropped off by helicopters. And actually, whether they're being dropped off by labs, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Pretty freaking noisy. I would zoom in, but that is pretty freaking noisy. So, in the case, my VDVs thankfully do manage to get a bit of a cover, and yeah, managing to pick off the labs pretty nicely. My helicopters, unfortunately, not faring too well with all the anti-air that's in the area. So, at least Lalocre definitely did a good job bringing all that around. But thankfully, yeah, my VDVs are at least routing. They should actually be in the buildings, but anyway, yeah, they actually are still surviving at the very least. MITs unfortunately not surviving, and Echo, no one's actually contesting that, bizarre enough. Actually got the Fighting Falcon coming in. I believe he's only got some cluster bombs on him, but I guess that took out the helicopter. 100% sure, to be honest. And what do you know, even got Rangers actually coming in as well. Don't think I've actually noticed that. I don't think I noticed that at the time until I got some infantry into the particular forest, but we'll see if Lalocre can actually sneak some infantry around. We'll see. I'm surprised actually nothing has happened with Echo, and my helicopter might actually destroy this command vehicle. Let's have a look. Come on. Oh, it's targeting some SID, of course, but oh, wait a minute. No, it's actually going after something else. Oh my god, I missed a golden opportunity to go after the command vehicle. Oh my god, indeed. Oh my god, it looks like I wasn't paying attention by the looks of things. Oh well, if I'm lucky I might be able to take out the Chaparral actually. But, well, it's going to miss. And nope, second hit gets the job done. Well, what can you do? So yeah, these Rangers will be creeping forward. They'll be encountering my infantry. We should be able to dispatch them relatively easily. And at the same time I do have my own Razvedkas coming in as well, probably just to provide a bit of recon, or who knows, I might actually sneak around to the mountains. We'll have a look actually, and okay, so that's where the enemy command vehicle was, in Hotel. I believe at some point I will be sending stuff to try to comb Hotel for the enemy's command vehicle. We'll see if that will be successful, but I kind of revealed what will happen actually with that comment, but there we go. Okay, so Lalocre with a very slight advantage for score points, but at the same time I do have something in Echo. It's just a matter of me bringing a CV there, and I do have a foothold in Delta as well actually, so I could reinforce either or both sectors, send a CV to one of them and get my points flying back up, and I should be alright. Actually sending in a relatively early T-62M of all things. As for my opponent, coming in with more supplies. Okay, yeah, for stuff there, as you can see, missing ammunition and all that, or spending ammunition, should I say. And we've also got the good old Bradleys coming in probably with more freaking specimens for my opponents. Yeah, as you can see, well, relatively non-confrontational start actually. I mean, apart from the skirmish for Delta, well, at least my VDVs are holding their ground, even though they have taken some pretty significant amounts of damage. I really should be reinforcing actually, but well, my Euro's getting destroyed. Hopefully going to be revealing to myself that there are some infantry in the forest, and looks like I'm going to be replying with BTRs along with remember correctly, I believe they'll be having Spetsnazes with them, and also replaying with a Yak as well, so see how that works out. MI8T also coming across the side. My opponent, as you can see, does not have any recon around here, although his rangers might have spotted it actually, I'm not entirely sure. In the case, also got my own recon helicopter to spot ahead. It's probably just going to land or hover over one of these bits of land or something like that. I mean, it could hover over the water anyway, but we'll see what happens actually. Chaparral Bizarre enough actually getting taken out by a couple of helicopters. These things, okay, they need to be stationary to fire. It was probably out of ammunition in the case. So is this one for that matter. We'll see what happens. Something else blowing up randomly. Okay, probably one of my helicopters by the looks of things. And MITs, yeah, just continuing to cruise around. Fighting Falcon's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. I believe I had a Yak coming in somewhere, but I'm not really sure what happened to him. Probably died by the looks of things. Very unfortunate, and very unfortunate that my helicopter's got taken out as well. They should be spotting this helicopter actually. Let's just have a look. No, he doesn't actually. I'll be damned. Well, there we go, using the mountains for cover, I guess. And thank God these things have got a massive climb rate, as you can see. Climbing pretty freaking quickly there. So yes, Echo is at the very least falling to myself slowly but surely, and by the looks of things I'm sort of reinforcing Delta. I'm not really sure why I'm not sending in a couple of logistics vehicles just to get these VDVs back up to fighting strength, because yeah, they're pretty nifty infantry, especially if you can keep the bastards alive. But oh well, we'll see what happens. I do have some BDRs and such coming in, but what I really should have also sent in was, well, I should have sent in some recon infantry as well. Just the recon jeep. Not really sure where he's going actually, but anyway, yeah, should send in some recon infantry as well, and well, just some anti-air support, maybe some ATGMs or tanks and such as well to blast these guys to smithereens. I mean, we do have towers here, but well, these BTRs. Oh, this actually would have been a perfect opportunity. These BTRs to just come in and at least destroy a few of these towers before getting knocked out with the ATGMs. With the Lavs and the Bradleys coming in, unfortunately it's going to be not happening though, so a bit of a missed opportunity there, but oh well. The Zvedka's continuing to come in as well, and my MI8T is continuing to sweep around. Unfortunately not finding the command vehicle. Not really sure why I was sending the MI8T around here. I should have just kept on combing the forest, because I think I combed one bit of it, and yeah, just going around here, so... indeed, I should just, yeah, comb the forest a bit more, but, oh well, what can you do? MIT, I mean, come on, should have spotted it by now. Nope, he, interesting, the FOB doesn't seem to have spotted it either, for that matter. Actually, that's interesting, I didn't realise these things had no sight on them. Okay, come on, surely the Raven's going to spot it, yes, since it's just an aircraft. Anti-radar aircraft, I don't think I have any radar AA just yet. Nope, doesn't look like it. In fact, I've barely got any AA at all, actually. Probably should be sending up some for that matter, but there you go. Do have a couple of MiGs though, which will hopefully do something against the Raven. If I actually react, and I will not. Probably not such a bad thing, because we do have some anti-air here as well. Not that much really. Chaparral and a couple of Pivards. Surprised I don't have any radar AA for La Lucre actually, but there we go. As you can see, we're both manoeuvring here and there. Moving our infantry into position. And there we go, finally bringing in my command vehicle to Echo as well, although yeah, I should be sending in something a bit more substantial to assist. There we go, sending recon and all that to help out. And as my opponent, he still hasn't sent anything to Delta. I mean, surely he must have some points to spare, one would think. Oh well, in either case, my MiGs, oh, one of them actually, oh, god damn it. Of course, we kind of saw that in fast forward, but well, as you can see, one of them did take out a fighting Falcon, I believe, which seems to be the only thing really my opponent's deploying when it comes to aircraft, I think. Or did he also deploy something else? The F... something. Well, that's a lot of help. Well, I don't know. All I know is that one of my MiG-25 PDs took out an aircraft, an enemy aircraft, I'm pretty sure. Landing right there. So the AK... AF86351, which means nothing probably. But oh well, there you go, pretty nice little damage model there, I suppose. These Zvedkas are also going to be continuing to sneak in, so they could actually provide some pretty good reconnaissance around here, or they can just go for the command vehicles, see what happens. Actually, I'm surprised actually that he's left it completely defenseless. And he does have these ranges here to spot. Keep in mind where they're located though, they'll only be able to spot basically everything within this little cone there. They won't be able to spot anything heading out, even across this open field here. So, yeah, not exactly the best spot for him, but we'll see what happens. Spetsnaz is engaging US Marines, and thankfully they're going to be blasting the crap out of them. I'm still in a bit of trouble with my infantry in general, though, because I really should have sent in some logistics vehicles, but yeah, well, live and learn, I suppose. Oh, indeed, what the hell is this thing doing? Continuing to miss these freaking tower vehicles, of course. Oh, okay, probably keeps going out of range, actually, yeah. Yep, probably doing that. So he's going to be escaping unchecked. Very unfortunate for myself, but oh well. And okay, I didn't actually realise we had Rangers watching as well as Lad Stingers. In fact, I'm surprised Lalacruz is not bringing him up a bit closer. And of course, just as I say that, he starts moving him up closer. My God, it's like as if he's reading my mind in the future there. Oh, and speaking of a bit of mind reading, looks like I've finally found Lalacruz's command vehicle. Unfortunately, he's also seen my Razvedkas before they can get close enough. Still though, I'm forcing my opponents to neutralise Golf. Ouch. To neutralise Golf temporarily to get myself even more score points coming in, and yeah, that can only be a good thing. Although he does have another command vehicle coming in, which will probably... Yeah, actually, he'll keep sending it onto Delta. This one's just going to stay in Golf most likely. Monsterowski's finally coming in and taking out the Rangers that were there, so now my opponent is completely blind here. He's got a couple of labs and such. He doesn't have any recon at all except for these Rangers, but probably won't be able to spot too much coming in through here, so see what happens though. Foxtrot seems to be well defended well enough. He could have maybe a little bit more anti-air, otherwise yeah, not too shabby actually, and yeah, still continuing to maintain a presence in the west, but as you can see I do have a few vehicles and infantry as well to spot as well. Though as you can see there are some gaps in defences, but yeah, it's not too bad for budget detection, I guess, because I'm not really going to stop too much these empty Urals to say them at least. But there we go, we'll see what happens. And Lalacruz actually coming in with a couple of infantry squads as well, just to help out with the command vehicle, although not really sure why he's just leaving them out in the open like that, but there you go, see what happens. Spetsnaz is getting a little bit too close to the edge of the forest there, and unfortunately I do lose an entire squad. Lost an entire squad of VDVs as well, well, two squads that were there actually, I believe. Artillery coming in for myself, and Yak, not really sure what the hell he's doing, but he's not going to be doing too much to say the least. So yes, as you can see, things are relatively even now, but now I've got the advantage in terms of score points. And as you can see, it's a bit of a cold battle, I suppose would be the best way to describe this, because as you can see, me and my opponent are poking each other. Poking, prodding, testing, pontificating, perhaps. But we're not really going for all-out assaults or anything like that. We seem to be a little bit more cautious. Maybe we don't want things to lead to nuclear war, eh? Indeed, anyway. Fortunately, this command vehicle is not dead just yet, but I must have seen it at some point, given that I'm shooting it with artillery. In fact, I don't have any recon here myself still, and these Rangers are actually going to be providing a bit of reconnaissance for Lalacruz. He manages to actually get them up. They do briefly get detected by Montestrelski's, but then cloister themselves in this bloody dense hedged farmland, so there we go, not too shabby indeed. I don't know if I even noticed them at the time. And finally, do have some recon infantry coming in for myself. Okay, well, we'll see what happens to these guys. Will they actually try to go up to the command vehicle, or will I just use them for regular recon? We'll see what happens. In any case, there we go, starting to come out with a few more units here and there, as well as continuing to shell my opponents. So yeah, just poking and prodding like I said. Lalacruz is probably going to be doing the same thing, is going to try to press on the reinforcement point for Bravo, reinforcement arrow for Bravo, whatever the hell you want to call it. With some infantry, not such a bad idea. I mean, especially since this is all basically just forested land, vehicles not really going to be able to do too much anyway, although I'm surprised he's not coming out with some more flame infantry. Well, maybe he doesn't actually have any flame infantry. Huh, bit of a shame really for him, but there you go. And as myself, yeah, sending in a few units here and there. Not the biggest of attacks, in fact definitely not anywhere near the biggest of attacks that I could be doing, but better than nothing. Also for some reason, okay, yeah, there was a helicopter getting held up most likely. So what is my opponent doing to reply to this? Well, sticking his infantry behind the forest, not doing too much. Lavs continuing to come in as well, and as myself just continuing to shell as much as possible, fortifying Echo, but yeah, with these units coming in, probably to either attack Delta or Golf. Well, we should hopefully have a bit of real action happening, so I might just fast forward a bit actually before this cold battle turns into a bloody ice battle of some kind, but anyway. I suppose it is part of the Cold War after all. So yeah, a couple of shellings here and there, nothing too much though. Motostrelsky's coming up as well. US Marine's going to be advancing on my Spetsnazers. And probably going to be destroying them. Ouch. And these guys, well, probably can't take them on. Although, no, apparently they can actually. And here we go. Finally my attacking units are going to be coming into here, and hopefully I'll actually be attacking at some point. As Somalia, sending in a couple of light riflemen might just slow things down a bit actually, since we do have something happening. Light riflemen, a very interesting choice of infantry to send actually. Very interesting indeed. Well, we'll see how this works out. These Patur Victorias are being forced back at the very least. Both squads should hopefully survive, provided they don't get too close to these light riflemen. Rangers also coming in for La Crew, I think, just to scout ahead. And unfortunately I do lose one of my Patur Victorias though, which kind of sucks, but at the same time these light riflemen not exactly going to stand a chance. They're not really the sorts of infantry you want to send in through the forests. More like mid-range combat infantry, but there we go, they go down nonetheless pretty quickly. And more bloody artillery coming in from my opponent, just gotta love it. And as for my attack here, well, nothing much seems to be happening. Factoidia is coming up, but apart from that, not much else. T-72 is coming into range as well. Have to watch out though, these light riflemen, they do have their dragons. And yeah, their range is not too bad, not too bad. Pretty shitty for ATGMs, but well, what the hell, I mean, they're still 10-man squads. Machine gun and all that, so I suppose you could call them a hybrid infantry unit. As myself, I just got continue to come in with a couple of cheap planes for air superiority. I think my opponent has had more expensive planes overall though, but I've had greater numbers of planes, I guess. Just need to be careful with them. That Stinger's also inching the way up for the Lacroix Rangers, deciding to retreat, so really, he should be attacking a bit more aggressively, basically. I mean, I should be attacking as well, actually, but ouch, this T-72 is not going to do too well, actually. Should have tried to keep him a bit further away from the light rifleman, but oh well. What can you do? And probably should have brought some flame tanks as well for that matter. But there we go, these light riflemen will eventually go down. Unfortunately, I will lose a few things here and there, especially this bloody Lav 25 being a pain in the ass. As for my recon infantry, the Zvedkas, yep, once again making themselves useful, at least for reconning the rear of the enemy's points here, and well, they might actually try to charge the command vehicle, and well, actually, they might be able to do that, seeing there's no actual infantry here directly around it. We'll see what happens though, and unfortunately my Yak's taking quite a bit of damage though, still managing to drop all the bombs. Down goes the Lav, and not really sure what the other one was aiming at, but didn't see anything else blow up, so there we go. In any case, almost losing both Motostrelsky squads, and thankfully this time at the very least I bring in the logistics vehicles, although I should still brought some up here actually. Jesus, what was I thinking? I could have kept this position for a hell of a lot longer if I did that. There's also some anti-air infantry as well actually, of course. Maybe some anti-tank stuff there. Maybe some actual tanks for that matter, but there we go. Pasha also getting destroyed thanks to the Tunguska maybe? That's fired off 2 missiles, so presumably that. I'm not 100% sure to be honest. Unfortunately though, yeah, still continuing to counter enemy resistance, but my T-72s are in range to take pot shots at these towers, and hopefully their shells can travel a hell of a lot faster. And unfortunately though, they're going to keep on missing these towers. They're just going to be slightly worried, although really they've got nothing to worry about, because they have been missed every single fucking time it seems. Bah. Bah, I say, and ouch, are they aiming at my Afghanska or the Tunguska actually with that bloody tower? I don't know. In any case, a very long reach indeed. Afghanskis are finally starting to take aim at the towers and the Humvee 2s for that matter actually. You'd think they'd be able to do a bit more damage. I think one of them has been taken out. The second one continuing to fire though. These guys still do have missiles. Thunderbolt's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass as well. Do still have one Tunguska. Could do with some more anti-air though for that matter. Still though, it's enough to scare away the Thunderbolt. I reckon I reckon he might have been able to take out the Tunguska and the Afghansky if he was lucky, but well, what the hell, no harm keeping such a plane alive as well, especially since I do still have some air sub-planes flying around. So there you go, I actually am resupplying some infantry, presumably some of the ones around Echo, but really the ones around Delta are continuing to suffer quite a bit, and I'm not entirely sure why I didn't resupply them. Perhaps I thought that they wouldn't last long enough to actually need resupplying, or maybe I just forgot about Delta altogether, but really I should have sent something over for them, but yeah, well, what can you do? In the case, resupplying my attack on the eastern flank, and there we go, forcing the CV back, and what do you know, he's going to be running straight into my recon infantry, most likely. Just get a nice little close-in view of that happening, actually. Here we go. Damn it, I wanted to get this thing to... There we go, to track it, perfect. And bam. Well, it looks like the rocket kind of skimmed the side of it, but in any case, it is down for the count. It's definitely going to be giving me a hell of an advantage, and there we go, I can actually, well, just walk forward and secure goal for myself. The towers probably will get taken out as well. Yep, down goes one, and the other one is going to be staying for just a few critical seconds, and that's enough for it to get blown to hell and back, and along with the trio as well. So, very nicely done by these Razvedkas, and even got one whole rocket left as well to destroy something valuable, hopefully. Okay, so yeah, Laluker still is not out of the game though, but he's definitely got a game of catch up to play. His probe on the Bravo spawn point has not worked out, and surprisingly actually hasn't tried to sneak anything around the edges himself, especially since he would have seen that I tried to do that, but well. Can you do it? As Zvedkas are going to be retreating, so kind of wisely out of the way of the Bradleys and all that. And there we go, actually I'm going to be pulling forward. Unfortunately though, my forces have been pretty significantly depleted. A couple of Motostrelskis, Afghanskis, Tunguskas, actually there we go, a couple of Motostrelskis as well. Well, they should be able to hold on to the line for a bit of a while. God damn, that Raven's never going to get shot down. But anyway, they should be able to hold down the line for a bit of a while, but I definitely need to be reinforcing with a bit more. And reinforcing with aircraft instead. Well, why not, eh? Although, yeah, actually, I might have some infantry incoming, probably to reinforce Delta, though. Given the way that they're heading, although, well, it could be the unit pathing, actually. Just have to wait and see. Okay, some ATGMs also flying towards, presumably, this command vehicle, as well as some red things as well. I think they're meant to be like, ouch. Tracers or something, I'm not entirely sure what the hell they are, but in any case, down goes yet another command vehicle. Not too shabby indeed, got air superiority for now, and local ground superiority, although that's probably will end up changing, and unfortunately, yeah, my MiG's flying a little bit too close to say least. At least my Pictor Factorials are managing to take quite a few shots, so these MiGs probably should either evacuate, as you can see, or just maybe I should have stationed a bit further back, basically. That was ridiculously far forward. Well, I guess most of them survive, better than nothing, I guess. Another Raven coming into a bit of a pain in the ass. Stelsky's in a bit of trouble, actually, as well. And yeah, no wonder. I mean, they're under cover and concealment of the buildings, but there's just way too much crap trying to attack them. And yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to be losing their position. I did do quite a bit of damage to Golf and to Delta, though. And really, if I sent in a real attack force, then I'd be able to basically at least wipe out their position at Delta. Golf is going to be a little bit trickier, but, well, once I secure Delta, if I secure Delta ever, it seems, then, yeah, it should just be relatively easy to get from that secure position to Golf, but we'll see. I'll actually be able to securing either one of them, especially since we've got a whole bunch of US Marines coming in. My Zvedkas do not stand a chance. What am I going to be doing to counter that? Well, we'll just have a look, actually. Should be able to quickly spawn in a couple of cheap attack helicopters. Should be able to take care of these guys pretty freaking easily. But no, instead I'm actually going for a whole bunch of T-72s. Not such a bad choice. Still have to watch out for the Marines getting close to them to use their rockets, but we'll see what happens. In any case, this position here in Delta is basically hanging on a thread on both accounts, actually, so either person reinforcing would be able to take it relatively easily, and unfortunately it looks like my position has pretty much been completely annihilated at Golf, so very unfortunate for myself. I did not manage to even get the anti-air away in time, And these Factorias not going to be doing too well either, actually. They do have 3 more rockets left, or missiles, should I say. And I'm going to be reinforcing, though. It's a little bit too little too late, though, so... Bit unfortunate, but there we go. Eagle's also probably going to get destroyed by the Marines, maybe. EK's labs are definitely going to be destroying the Eagles if the Marines don't, and yeah, down they go as well, so... Not exactly too prepared for these Marines, to say the least. And I believe we got the original T-62 I spawned in before, coming in from Bravo as well, actually, just to lend a hand. US Marines are going to be a bit of a pain in the ass getting into the forest though, but it is very firmly within my territory, so I can drop a few bombs if need be. So, do I even have any bombers left? That's the question. No, it looks like I'm just going to be shelling instead. Well, whatever. In any case, the Zerdka is here. He's probably spotting, I'm assuming. Well, he's seeing some stuff, which is better than nothing, I guess. And, well, actually, there's a bit of hedged farmland, or whatever the hell they call it in this game. Yep, hedged farmlands for him to hide amongst as well as this tree line is probably going to be a bit too close to the Bradleys, though, to say the least. But there we go. Command vehicle also coming in, nothing yet for Delta. So all this time I've been getting +3 points. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. These US Marines thankfully getting caught out in the open. And there we go, I did actually send in 1 attack helicopter after all, God forbid. Labs unfortunately won't be revealed for a bit of a while, and if I'm not lucky, or if I'm not careful, then Chaparrals might actually finish off this cheap attack helicopter, but what the hell, it is pretty cheap, so hopefully it'll be alright. Euro's going to get finished off in any case, and VDVs should be able to stop anything from getting too close either. Where the hell are my ATGMs? Actually, I think they got wiped out as well. Oh well. Sucks, but what can you do? So yeah, T-72 is just going to be hanging around, taking out these US Marines in the open. Very nicely done if I do say so, and down goes the tower as well before he can even get a missile off. Not too shabby. We actually do have Lalukra coming in with a counterattack on the eastern flank with riflemen US Marines, but really they're not really properly supported if well, if these Abrams, Labs and Towers and well, a bit of anti-air and recon also came in for Lalukra on the eastern flank, then he would have much greater chance of much greater chance of succeeding. But as it is, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. All these towers are managing to take pot shots, but unfortunately for them it's only on the Urals, so there you go. US Marines, well, might be able to escape mostly intact. Oh my god, that is freaking loud. Where the hell are their infantry anyway? I can't even... Oh, they're there. Okay. Man, they're so tiny. Then again, these are pretty big maps where... sorry, these are pretty big maps we're talking about. More aircraft coming in, just some air sub-aircraft. Damn it, I think there was an air sub-aircraft for my opponent as well. Nothing too fancy, they're still getting +1 points coming in because for some reason Lalukra has not reinforced Delta with a command vehicle. Not really sure why. I mean, I know for a fact that I was floating quite a few resources for most of the rounds. For most of this particular round. So my opponent, well, given what he's got on the field, he should have some resources as well, at least enough to afford a freaking command vehicle for Delta. But yeah, well, in any case, yeah, my infantry are getting worn down slowly but surely. He definitely took his time with securing Delta, but he's finally going to be doing so. My shells landing around the Marines, not really doing too much though. A bit of damage, but they're all pretty calm. Which is kind of hard to believe, really. You'd think they would... well, I suppose they're in buildings and all that, so it's not as if it... And they're meant to be, you know, like, elite infantry, so it's not like as if they're going to get panicked that easily from shells landing around them, I guess, but still. In any case, yeah, VDV is going to be revealing themselves, and the good old autocannons are going to be blasting the crap out of them. In fact, what the hell, let's just see if I can... Damn it, of course I stopped firing as soon as I zoom in like that. Oh well, whatever. All you need to know is that autocannons are incredible, given certain circumstances. And there we go, finally do have a bomber coming in, and a couple of stingers though. Probably, yeah, don't really want to get my craft too close to them. We'll see if it survives though. These US Marines still continue to survive in either case. A couple of bombs might actually help, and what do you know, this Yak might actually get out of there? Nope. If it was just one squad of Lad Stingers, it should have been alright, unfortunately not. It does manage to take out one squad of Marines and the other one's getting severely weakened, so I suppose a follow-up attack would be nice, but we'll see what happens though. case I just deciding to hold my position, another helicopter coming in with some recon infantry. These Razvedkas actually running around as well. They might actually have a chance at taking out this command vehicle. We'll see what happens though, because even though the fact that Lalakra does not have any recon infantry around here, his vehicles and such, I'm pretty sure they can actually spot that Razvedkas before they can get into rocket range by the looks of things. But we'll see what happens though, we'll see what happens. Nothing else really happening in the map though, so yeah, nothing really happening on the western flank. We did have some action on Echo, but yeah, mostly it was poking and prodding. So very much a cold battle, as it were, from a cold war. Very cold indeed, and there we go, finally sending in his own command vehicle once again to Delta. It's a matter of too little too late though, he's quite a bit behind. He's going to have to attack and destroy something. So, well, he's going to have to neutralise one of my points at the very least to start getting his score back, and he's going to have to do that pretty freaking quickly. Against his Marines for Lalakra were actually hiding out for quite a bit of time, actually. Thankfully, I think the Urals coming in close to them gets them to launch a couple of rockets or something. Actually, no rockets, probably just the machine gun maybe? Well, in any case, yeah, going to be revealing themselves for the T-72s to go to town on them, so very nicely done. And we actually got a Huey attacking my recon helicopter, talk about audacious, eh? Just like the three tenets of war according to pattern. But yeah, finally my Glaives come in and yeah, do take out that Huey there, although the Mi-2 well, almost gets taken out, but lives to fight another day, so probably be retreating him back to, well, back all the way back to the FOB. And looks like my recon guys, I think this is what remains of them, just a couple of holes in the ground where the Bradleys tore them to shreds. Yeah, the command vehicle does live. For my opponents, not that it'll make that much difference, but there we go. Interesting round nonetheless, definitely. Well, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that both me and my opponents were showing quite a bit of restraint for some reason, although not 100% sure why we'd be doing that, so, but there you go. In case, the score's about to reach 400 points, and I did fast forward past the longer parts where nothing really happened anyway, so there we go. What's left should be pure gold, hopefully. And there we go, there's something I don't see too often. Logistics vehicles actually repairing each other like that. Not bad, not bad. Hopefully this helicopter is going to be landing and repairing too. Let's just get a closer view of that so there's nothing else is happening. There we go, very nice indeed, and bam, we have touchdown. So yeah, as you can see, certainly seen some better days. Unless if that's the default camo thing and that's actually how it's meant to look like, that'd be kind of funny. Yeah, indeed, in any case, yeah, my opponent's finally secured Delta. It wouldn't be that hard maybe to get it back from him. I certainly have to send more than just a few infantry squads, that's for sure. But here we go, in any case, time's going to tick down to 0, and nothing else happening. Come on, he should at least go for a suicide charge, but nope, he's not. Well, there we go, you see he's finally sending in some reinforcements, but really by the time they reach the front line, that time is going to hit 0. There we go, my Razvedkas at the very least trying to come into to do a bit of damage. Unfortunately, Rangers do spot them for the Lavs and Bradleys to take them out, so down they go. Bam. Actually, what he should be doing with the Super Chinook is actually setting a bit closer to the Marines to help, well, magically spawn in new Marines, basically, from the fuel that it's got, but there you go. Indeed, and as myself, yeah, just consolidating my positions, just sending in some infantry there, so, yeah. Bit of a sedate game, but, well, there we go. Opponents definitely, well, me and my opponents definitely trying to conquer each other in a slightly more subtle fashion, I guess you could say, so a bit of a difference in scores as well, to say the least, but there you go. I shall see you all next time.